For 8 years, it was the biggest show on the planet. Tens of millions of people organized their weeks around it. It won every award. It turned a niche fantasy series into the closest thing television has ever had to a global religion. And then, in a matter of weeks, it became a punchline. The ending of this show is now studied as one of the most spectacular collapses in entertainment history. A fan base of tens of millions who loved something for nearly a decade turned on it almost as one. A petition to redo the final season gathered nearly 2 million signatures. So what actually happened? How does a story that good fall apart that badly, that fast? The popular answer is that the writing simply got worse, but that is too easy. Something more specific went wrong, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You will spot the same failure in dozens of other stories. The real problem was speed. For most of its run, the show moved at the pace of real life. Plans took seasons to unfold. A character who wanted revenge might wait years for it. Armies took time to march. Information traveled slowly, by Raven and Ryder, so characters made decisions based on what they could realistically know. It felt like a living world precisely because nothing happened conveniently. This slowness was the secret ingredient. It made the world feel real, and it made the characters feel like real people, changing gradually, believably, one hard experience at a time. Then, in the final 2 seasons, the show ran out of road. For years, it had been adapting a series of enormous novels, thousands of pages of careful groundwork, but the show caught up to the books. The author had not finished them. Suddenly, the writers were no longer adapting a detailed map. They were sprinting toward an ending they had been told in broad strokes, but had to fill in themselves, and they were given far fewer episodes to do it. And so time broke. Watch the final season and you can feel it. Characters cross enormous distances in what feels like minutes. Armies appear where the plot needs them. A Ravens and Ryder's world starts moving at the speed of text messages. And worst of all, the slow, believable character arcs that took 7 seasons to build are resolved in a couple of scenes. A character's entire personality, developed patiently over years, would flip in a single episode, because the story no longer had time to walk them there. It just needed them to arrive. This is the trap, and it has a shape you can learn to recognize. A story earns its emotional payoffs through time. Every season of slow build-up is like winding a spring. The audience does not consciously track it, but they feel it. They feel that a transformation was paid for, scene by scene, choice by choice. When the payoff finally comes, it lands, because the groundwork is holding it up. Rush the build-up, and the payoff still happens, but it lands on nothing. The exact same plot event, a character turning dark, a war won, an unexpected death, feels earned if you walk there slowly and absurd if you teleported there. The events were not necessarily wrong. The destinations might even have been the ones the author always intended. It was the speed of arrival that broke them. That is the cruel lesson hidden in this collapse. The ending may well have been close to the plan all along. Fans were not furious about what happened, not really. They were furious about how fast it happened, because speed had quietly stripped every big moment of the years of wait that would have made it feel true. A great story is a promise that time will be respected, that changes will be earned, that the world will keep behaving like a world. When a story suddenly starts skipping the steps, the audience cannot always explain what is wrong. They just feel betrayed, and they rarely know why. Now you do. It was never that the writers forgot how to write. It was that they ran out of the one resource that had made everything work in the first place: time. And once a story spends that, no amount of spectacle can buy it back. Now you know.